Welcome back, everyone. It's me, Mr. 4K Upscaler, yet with another video. So this was yesterday, Thursday, February 15th. Today is the February 16th. It was an update podcast on their business and the future business model of the Xbox trademark. And head of the Xbox was there. A couple of other people as well who are part of the Xbox division, marketing and all that. Uh, Met Booty, I believe, and I forgot her name. I apologize. I only know Phil Spencer. That's all I know. And that's really what's important. It's Phil Spencer because he's the head of the Xbox. He's the big boss. He makes all the decisions. So I really wanted to hear what he has to say because what he says goes, obviously. He makes all the decisions. Those two, they just have to agree with what he says. So I already watched this. So what I'm going to do in this video is I'm going to go through some of these chapters and the questions that were asked to Phil Spencer, and then I'm going to give you my opinion on his answer and what he is saying. So without any further ado, let's jump into this and let's not waste any time because I don't want to waste your time. So let's go ahead and let's really dive into this 22 minutes. I'm going to try to cut it down to like maybe 14 minutes, 15 minutes. So let's go ahead and let's do this.
Let's just go and tackle the exclusivity question because I know it's on the minds of a lot of people. We hear from the community, and that's an important input for us. So we made the decision that we're going to take 4 games to the other consoles, just 4 games, not a change to our kind of fundamental exclusive strategy. We're making these decisions for some specific reasons. We make every decision really with the long-term health of Xbox in mind. And long-term health of Xbox means a growing platform, our games performing, building the best platform for creators, reaching as many players as we can. We're always looking to learn as a leadership team and to grow. And we think this is an interesting point in time for us to use what some of the other platforms have right now to help grow our franchises. So we're going to do that.
So these 4 titles, what are they? Can you say?
I'm not going to name those games. The teams that are building those games have announced plans that are not too far away. As we know, game teams put a lot of energy into their announcements with the partners. So I don't want to take anything away from those teams. So I won't be talking about the titles specifically, but I think when they come out, it'll make sense.
Can we say if either of those titles are Starfield or Indiana Jones?
They are not Starfield or Indiana Jones.
Well, what was the criteria and how the team was thinking about selecting those 4 titles?
Let me start a little bit outside of that, and then I'll get to the 4 specific games that we're talking about right now. Because the fundamental decision driver for any decision that we make, anything we're going to talk about today, is the long-term health of Xbox. That we're running a growing platform that is reaching more players, that our games are having as much success as possible. And I do have a fundamental belief that over the next 5 or 10 years, exclusive games that are exclusive to one piece of hardware are going to be a smaller and smaller part of the game industry. And that's not some great insight, because if you look at the last 10 years and what the biggest games are today, it's a natural place. Whether it's one console and PC, multiple consoles, mobile console and PC, you see big games landing on multiple platforms. And we want to be a great platform for creators that are trying to realize that potential. But now back to the specifics of the question on.
All right, so there's a lot here to dissect, obviously, a lot to unpack here. So the question was, why are these 4 titles, specific titles that are not being specific titles, why are these 4 titles going to everywhere? Why they're not being exclusives, and why they're cherry picking those 4 titles to go somewhere. What he gave the answer here pretty much was that even though he didn't name specific 4 titles, and Indiana Jones And Starfield is not going to be those two titles. It's going to be other four titles that maybe you guys can figure out what those four titles are, and why they're going. I think Forza is going to be one of them, obviously, Forza Horizon and some others. This is just my interpretation. What I take away from the answer that Phil Spencer gave was exactly what I have been saying. Even though he cannot talk about specifics on this video, he cannot tell you because, he has his bosses. They're all, above him on the Microsoft Corporation, on the boards of directors table. And of course, Bill Gates still oversees that table because he's a co-founder of Microsoft, even though there's a different CEO sitting there. Just like Jeff Bezos oversees the CEO of the Amazon and what he does. So the answer that Phil Spencer gave, and I'm going to try to dissect this answer the way he gave it, was pretty much what I have been saying. That, hey, we're still going to have some exclusives on the Xbox. You're still going to enjoy them. But our main goal in the long-term future is, hey, we want to focus on the service. And we want to be expanding as a service, as a business, just like Amazon or Facebook or Apple. It's expanding as a service. We want to be out there as a service, available to everybody who wants our service. And we don't want to be tied up to a specific device that has that exclusive product. That's not our focus. And I think this is what I've been saying. This is what I've been telling people in my previous videos, is this is where the future of gaming is going. And it's not just the Microsoft. I think the Microsoft, it's breaking that ice slowly. You see this with Sony as well. For example, you look at the Helldivers 2. Helldivers 2 is not just exclusive to PlayStation. It's also available on a PC. So if you have a PC, guess what? You can jump in and start playing Helldivers 2 today, right now, against PlayStation cross-play feature. You can play against PlayStation fans. So we see that with Sony. We see it with all of the games that Sony has published to Steam, right? And other places. You look at the God of War. You look at Returnal. You look at Detroit Become Human. You look at Days Gone. You look at Miles Morales. You look at The Last of Us Part 1 Remastered that's already available on the PC. You look at all of these games from PlayStation, they're available on the PC. And you got to say to yourself, well, wait a minute. What's going on with the only own PlayStation or only own Xbox? Remember back in the days, it used to be only on Xbox, only on PlayStation. That's going away, guys. You have to understand, it's 2024, man. And next thing you know, we're going to be in 2025. Things change, okay? Things evolve. People have this notion, and I talked about this. People are stuck in this mindset that everything has to stay status quo. Nothing ever stays status quo. Things evolve. People get older. I get older. I evolve. The things I used to like 10 years ago, I don't like anymore. I find new interests. I find new preferences. I move on. I evolve. People evolve. And same thing with the business. Business evolve. But people also have to remember, these companies like Microsoft, Xbox, and Sony PlayStation, they're not in business on catering to the fan base. And I think this is where fanboys make a mistake. They think that the CEO of the Xbox or the CEO of the PlayStation is catering to their fan base. No, they're not. They might be exploiting their fan base and using their fan base, obviously, to make money. But their main focus is the numbers, the business. How can we expand our business? How can we expand our business that is secure for the future? How can we expand our business where we can make more money, where we can get more revenue. Business is business, guys. You know, you have to understand that. All right? Anybody who's been running a business or even attempt to try to run a business, as much as you love your employees, as much as you love your, fan base and people who support you, you got to look at the business motto. Hey, am I profiting money from this? Am I expanding my business in a proper way? Am I gathering the money in a smart way? So business comes first, and I think that's where things are going, as a service. So I think what in a nutshell Phil Spencer is saying is, we are moving in a direction of service and business. And I think, honestly, that's where it's going. And there's another interesting question about the how multi-platform availability is good for business. And I think this is the icing on the cake. This chapter right here, which I'm going to play, and you're going to hear it, where Phil Spencer says, he was being asked, how is multi-platform availability good for business? And he's going to explain to you just what I just explained to you, why it's good for business. And we're not catering for that one certain device. Even he said it, and I'm quoting him. We're not just catering, oh, buy this device and everything is there, you can only play it there. Those days are over, guys. I'm sorry. Those days are over. I don't care if you're a Sony fanboy or if you're an Xbox fanboy. You have to put that cape down. It's over, guys. That's where we go. You're just going to have to face that fact. Just like you're going to have to face the fact that the physical media, it's over as well. It is what it is. You just have to accept that. So let's go ahead and let's play this chapter right here where he was asked that question really quick.
Growth in this industry.
And my understanding, just from listening and learning from you three over the past few weeks, just understanding what's happening with Xbox, is that we see trends with player behavior where people are playing on multiple devices. Mm-hmm. That is the reality. And we have put some games out on multiple platforms before. So my understanding is that that's been good for players. How does that come back to the business with all of that in mind?
Yeah, as you said, we have shipped games on other platforms. In fact, realistically, if you look with the addition of Activision and Blizzard and ZeniMax, we're one of the largest game publishers on PlayStation. We're one of the largest publishers on the Nintendo Switch, especially when you put Minecraft into the equation as well. And now we're one of the largest publishers on mobile platforms as well. And that's not something that we want to back away from. We want to continue to be building great games that millions and millions of people can love, and that they can play those games where they want to go play. But we do understand the business success that Xbox has to have. Us as leaders in this business, the system today, the system that all companies that we play video games from, is a world of you got to be growing your business. Growth in our Xbox business is critical to the long-term health of Xbox. Many people know I've been on Xbox for over 20 years. And I want to make sure Xbox is in the best position for the next 20 years. That means healthy player community, healthy creator community, and healthy business. So when we look at opportunities to allow more people to play, more people engage, more people to buy, more people to subscribe, it's all about putting Xbox in the best position. And our hardware is a critical component of that. The absolute best experience somebody has on Xbox is hardware that your team builds, and that people play on. But that's not going to be everybody. We fully accepted that we're going to have Xbox players across all kinds of devices.
So I think a lot of people think about 2023 as this incredible year for gaming. And in a lot of ways it was. There were some really amazing releases that I think we all enjoyed. But what were the signals behind the scenes that maybe indicated how we wanted to look at the future of Xbox and how we kind of keep up with the industry?
Yeah, such a good question. And I think it's, as people who care about the industry, which I assume is people who are watching this, it was an amazing year. Some great launches, some of the games that I think will stand the test of time and people will be talking about a decade from now. But it's an industry that didn't really grow. And what happens when an industry doesn't grow? You end up with some job eliminations, which we had. We had even our own hard decisions to make about building a sustainable business for ourselves, but in no way were we alone in that. When you think about a healthy industry, I want players who believe that they will find the best games on the platforms that they love. I want people who invest their careers in working here to feel like this is a place that they can be successful. And that really is down to being part of an industry that is growing. If you listen to Lisa Su, the AMD CEO, she'll say that AMD-powered consoles are likely to decline in 2024. I think there's an amazing set of games coming in 2024, but if we don't get to growing as an industry, the industry will struggle. And today there's really two choices on how do you grow the industry. Do you say I have a fixed number of players, the players that we have today, and do I find new ways to monetize those players to get more money from the players that I have? Or do you think about how do I expand the business I have by finding new players and adding those to the base of players that already play? Our focus on Xbox for the last decade has really been on that latter point of how do we make sure Xbox is growing for our players, growing for our creators, so those people are finding success on our platform, which will grow the Xbox business and put Xbox in a position to be very strong for years and decades to come.
And this is exactly what I've been actually talking about. I did a lot of research on this years and years about trajectory of where the consoles are going. And I kept telling everybody by 2030, 2031, maybe even earlier than that, but most likely 2030, it's going to be a service. Everything's going to be on the cloud. You'll have options of digital or cloud where you'll be able to, on your television, will come in with a SSD, 1 terabyte SSD or 2 terabyte SSD, and from there you'll be able to download these games. I think the way the future of gaming it's going, and this is exactly what Phil Spencer, it's almost like he took the words out of my mouth. This is exactly what he's indicating if you can read between the lines as to what he's saying. What he's basically saying is, hey, the old ways of, hey, let's just have a fixed number of players as a fan base, those days are over. Forget the Xbox 360, forget the original Xbox, those days are over. We are growing, we are evolving, we are moving into a new era, a new generation, a new direction, and because of that new era and a new direction, we're moving forward. And other companies are going to be moving forward. And Microsoft is not alone on this island. You got Sony on it as well. Sony is already starting that trend. You see it. Just go to Steam and you'll see how many Sony Studio games there are on there. So, there's plenty of PlayStation exclusive games to be played on a PC. Okay? So, right there, the exclusivity, it's slowly starting to take turn, even on the PlayStation. And the Xbox is breaking that ice with their announcement. So what does this mean? This means that, yes, you will see another Xbox console. You will see another PlayStation 6. But after that, that's it. You're going to end up with a service. Everything's going to be a service. Like, you look at the applications today. You look at the, HBO Max, Paramount Plus, Hulu, Disney Plus, Amazon Prime, etc., etc., etc. There's so many. And you're going to have that option as well in the future. And I think everything's going to be on your television. You're going to buy a television 5 years from now. You're going to have that television, and the television will have everything. It's going to give you the option of the cloud. Click on the cloud and play the games right away, or you want to download them on the SSD. That's going to have, televisions will have SSDs. They'll be like 4 terabytes, 5 terabytes, depending which models you buy. That's coming. And from there, you'll have option of, hey, I can either play this, click and play right away, or I can download it. And I won't need a console. And everything's going to be on your television. Watching movies, playing video games, listening to podcasts, watching podcasts, all in that one entertainment square box. You'll be able to watch and enjoy whatever you want to enjoy. And I think that's what they're going for that one small pot. And that's pretty cool and pretty neat. However, do I like that? Do I enjoy that? No. Because I like to own physical media. I like to own my products. That's why I love cartridges and CDs and Blu-rays and DVDs because I own that. That's mine. No one can take that away from me unless somebody breaks into my house and robs me and steals my shit. Then that's a whole different story, right? But I like to own the products, and I know why a lot of people don't like where this is going. So everything I've been preaching, everything I've been saying, it's exactly what Phil Spencer is saying. And it's exactly what Sony is doing right now as well. So, and look, I'm not saying this to brag about myself. I'm not saying this to act like I'm some kind of a prophet, because I'm not. I would never call myself a prophet. But I do this thing called common sense thinking, logical thinking. I do a lot of research, guys. I don't just talk a bunch of nonsense. It might seem like that, but I'm not. I do a lot of research, and I can make a logical decision. Hey, X, Y, and Z, 2 plus 2, it's 4. 2 plus 2, it's not 22. So it's going to go in this trajectory. This is where it's going. I go to Forbes, I go to stock markets, I go to business markets to do research and technology research and watch a lot of podcasts. Do tons of research, man. And based on the research that I do, I make a decision on where things are going. Logical decision. I don't just roll the dice and see where it lands. I make a logical decision. So that's where this is going, guys. I'm sorry. There won't be any more exclusivity, or there won't be any more, hey, I have an Xbox, therefore I have the best console. There won't be any more, hey, I have the best PlayStation. That's going to die out, guys. And I think it's about time, because it's quite honestly has created such a, before I end this video, and I know this video is already long, but it has to be, because there's so much to unpack here. So thank you for staying here. But before I go, I want to say something. And I'm glad that it is, because it's really, the console wars have really created a toxic environment in a gaming community. And I've been experiencing that, as I'm sure you have experiencing that. And it's just ugly. It doesn't bring anything good. It doesn't bring gamers together. It just, what it does, it separates the gamers. It creates the divisions. And I don't like divisions. I'm not about that. I'm not about that toxic, cancerous division. I'm about bringing people together. And I think, in a ways, this will bring gamers together, where everybody can play, where everybody can enjoy. And I think that's ultimately the goal that the Microsoft and Phil Spencer has been going for. Hey, I want everyone to play this. I don't want to feel like I'm left out. I want everybody to enjoy this. I don't want to be left out, dude. I want everybody to enjoy, dude. That's what it's about. And I like that. I want everyone to enjoy. And I think that's where it's going. So, again, this is exactly what I've been saying. I'm just, here it is. You hear it from the horse's mouth. He's acknowledging it to you 100%. Nothing's shocking, nothing surprising to me. This might be surprising to some other individuals who have been so, loyal to their fan base of their product. Guys, remember this. They're not catering to you. They're catering to their business, okay? They do appreciate you being a fanboy and buying their products, but trust me, they're not catering to you. They have to look at the business. You see how many people they laid off. Why they laid off so many people? Because they need to save the business. At the end of the day, it comes down to the money. Ones and zeros. Ones and zeros, okay? At the end of the day, it's all about the money. It's all about the business. And they want to expand their business, all right? It's all about the money at the end of the day. That's what business is. That's what capitalism is. Hello? You want capitalism? Well, that's what it's all about. Welcome to the America. That's the American dream. It's the business. So I hope the fanboys will wake up and they will understand this, okay? That, hey, they don't care about you. They care about business. And you should stop also caring about the brand. Enjoy everything, dude. Have fun. Try everything. Enjoy everything. That's what life is about. That's what it should be about. variety of different things. So there you have it. I'm sorry that the video is so long, but I have to make it long because there was so much to unpack here, to listen to what he says and then to listen to what my feedback is. So thank you for sticking around here for 25 minutes. I really appreciate it. Love you guys. Be good. I'll see you on a live stream.